there was an update regarding the Matthew Stafford situation. Originally, it was all rumor, it was all buzz that Matthew Stafford was going to get traded from the LA Rams. Tom Pelissero, when he was on the Rich Eisen show, shared that it was going to be the Rams were going to allow Stafford and his agent to see what the market would be for other teams to acquire him for a new deal. He did go on, and this was the part that was left out in every social post. Pelissero did note that the priority is for Stafford to be back with LA in 2025. And the talks will provide an avenue for the Rams to determine what his value is within the NFL right now. So essentially, it's not, hey, go talk to these teams to seek a trade. It's go talk to these teams and see if they would trade something ridiculous for you. Mm-hmm. And then one, are we willing to pay you an enormous contract if they're going to offer you a contract extension? And, two, is this worth us trying to figure this thing out and get this to work? If, though, I would just like to talk best and worst options here for Matthew Stafford. If this trade does come to fruition, what would you say is the best and the worst for him to go to?
Worst spot, Las Vegas Raiders. They're going to remain my worst quarterback destination for the offseason, especially seeing that Devontae Adams is not opposed to sticking with the Jets, which I think broke today. That makes them more valuable as a trade destination having that, whereas you go to the Raiders, you have Brock Bowers, super talented tight end, mm-hmm. And then you have Jacoby Myers, no running backs, offensive line that has exceeded expectations but still done very poorly. It is an awful franchise right now for an offense, especially an offense that would have an aged quarterback like Matthew Stafford with injury problems. He needs to go somewhere with a clean pocket, and right now it's technically the Minnesota Vikings are still a quarterback destination landing spot at this current juncture with their Darnold issues still being floated in the air. So that's the best spot. Worst spot is the Raiders. Middle spot, it's like the Browns, who have like the best offensive line out of all the garbage teams. And then
I don't think their offensive line is
they
that
have running
good.
Backs.
I don't know if
it's not that good, but it's better than the Giants' offensive line, at least in pressure rate. It's better than the awful
big pressure rate guy today. You got a lot of pressure rate notes.
They don't take a lot of stats for offensive linemen or offensive lines as general. Pressure rate's one of the big ones.
I mean, it's the easiest one to turn to. So I question the Browns because personally, I think that the Browns would be the worst spot for him to go to. If I'm Matthew Stafford, why the hell would I want to go to the Browns? You play in a cold-ass stadium on a team that's never been good, that's got a bunch of money committed to a pervert.
Yeah.
And you have very little that they can go out and spend on bringing in new receivers to maybe building a little bit more around him. They're listed right now on BetOnline 18-1 odds. They're pretty far down the list, but they are a team that needs a quarterback. That's 1,000%, like without a doubt, worst. Tied with it is the Saints, who's also at 12-1.
I like Judy. I like Njoku. I think that those two with Stafford.
Praying for those guys.
They would be better. I know. I'm with you. I've been praying for it for a while, hoping that they get somebody like Matthew Stafford to give him a nice little swongs. Give them a nice couple years while he is exiting the NFL.
That is Swan Song? You didn't want to go with Swan Song?
You know what? I didn't think the third shot was really going to... I didn't think I was going to nail it. I lost all confidence in that, so I bailed.
Oh, God. The best for me, Sean, would be him ending up with the Steelers at 9-1 odds. They have the best defense. They were a playoff team this past year. They played like shit in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
You bring him back, or you bring him onto this roster that has a couple of decent receivers. You have the opportunity to maybe trade for and go bring in a couple more options, or draft somebody this year, bring in just a little bit more weaponry for him to throw to. Their offensive line, they invested a ton of draft picks in that offensive line over the past couple of years, and it has improved dramatically year by year. And I think this upcoming year is going to be their best year because at the bare minimum, Fotano, who's the youngest guy, is going to be in his second year. So that you're already starting to get more experience. So that is the best roster for anywhere to land. I don't understand why the Steelers are not getting talked about enough just generally as the, without a doubt, de facto best destination for a quarterback to land in. If I'm a free agent where I'm a quarterback who's on the trade market, the first place that I'm trying to push for is to end up in Pittsburgh.
It would be. I still don't know who they're keeping. I don't know if they're going to keep Fields. If they keep Fields, then yeah, you're probably going to go and start over Justin Fields. If they keep Wilson, we're going to have the same weirdness that we had this year. It'll probably still be some weird competition. If I was a Steelers fan and Matt Stafford and Russell Wilson were competing in my
you
number
think that
one,
they would bring back?
I don't know. Why are they
He's
still
on a 1-year deal?
Why are they still floating it around? Why?
Well, I think if you go and get Stafford, I think he's donezo.
Yeah, I would say so. But they had Justin Fields, and they also brought in Russell Wilson.
I don't think that they would do that.
They did a lot of weirdness last year, Joe. I'm not ruling them out. I have to see what their plans are. But yeah, it is kind of the de facto best destination, I'd say. You have at least. I don't know what you have on that offense. You're right. They need something else. Pickens is too much of a head case to be a leader on offense, and the running backs like Najee Harris, you have to cut the cord as soon as you can, right? Like he can't get extended by the Steelers with the lack of actual valuable production for the running back position that he has had.
Najee Harris is, I think, like one of the bigger debate points for the Steelers this offseason because he's a good running back, but his production wasn't there over the past couple of years. It seems like that they're better off not going with like a big dog primary running back, and they just need to go with a couple of rotational type of guys that they can turn to. I don't know what they end up doing there with Harris, but
it's a mess. That Steelers team is quietly a mess. But
I wouldn't classify it as a mess, though. Why do you think it's a mess?
Because they should be better, and they're not.
But okay, there is a clear, blatant answer for why they haven't been good. They went from Ben Roethlisberger to Kenny Shit Pickett to.
You keep trashing Pickett, and then after the show,
he's awful.
You walk back, you're like, that guy I trained with. Is he? You think he's gonna get
us? No. To be more specific, his quarterback coach operates out of the gym that I used to do all of my training at in college when I used to work out in college. And also, Kenny Pickett trained at the same gym as me. So I have never interacted with him. I've been in the same room as him from a distance.
Could you feel the aura? Any aura, Max?
He's one of the most auralist people. So he was awful. Then you try to get Mason Rudolph and you try to get Mitch Trubisky and see if you get anything out of him.
Trubisky
and then we
had some aura.
We tried this stupid double-headed whatever it was with double-headed goose, I guess we could call it, with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. That didn't work. The answer for their lack of success has been that they not only don't have a good quarterback, they don't have an alpha quarterback. That's Stafford. Stafford's the alpha quarterback. Russell Wilson shit his pants in the playoff game. I watched him shit his pants on Christmas Day. Completely crapped his pants.
I'm not sure how alpha Stafford is. I get exactly what you're talking about, football field. But Stafford also has got his wife going on a bunch of podcasts talking about we're dying to get out of LA. We're open to more adventure outside of the park. So that is.
Could you imagine trying to get
not really alpha.
To Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I know it's tough, and I know that the Stafford family
if I was trying to reestablish the power dynamic in that relationship, I'd say we're going to Pittsburgh. You wanna start looking around for new houses? We ain't going to New York. We're going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a great city, I've heard. I've never been.
No, it's awesome. Pittsburgh, first time you drive out of that mountain and see the city, it was it knocked my dick off a little bit. I was rolling up there for some funeral service. And I saw the city. Here? Oh, it was in this crazy ass church, in this Orthodox church. I was sitting down. They were shaking sage. Everybody was chanting.
You have family members in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was best olives I've ever eaten in the back of that church. It was